Okay, here's my review of the WiiM Ultra, an attempt to use it for 5.1 audio. The reason I got the WiiM Ultra was basically for good music listening 2.1 with a sub. So here's the thing. The WiiM is right now connected to a sub, which is in my left corner, and that works great. But as you can see, my two speakers are set up right in front of a spot where we watch movies. So we got a great 100-inch screen. It's perfect for movies. And my problem is whenever I want to do movies, I have to bring out a center speaker, and that's a pain in the butt. Now I do have a setup that's quite interesting. I have my surround speakers up top, and it's all tied to a stereo, a receiver. So the receiver is down underneath the couch, and I got one of those slimline Marantz N1510, and I attached it to an Emotiva power amp. Great, it works great. Check out Andrew Robertson's video on that, where he suggests you can just add a power amp to increase the power, and I did that setup. Oh, there's my center speaker there. But you know, I got this WiiM Ultra and I wanted to do the 5.1 sound, and I thought I'd try it out. So here's the problem. First of all, when you do the WiiM Ultra 5.1 sound, it creates a center channel instead of, a phantom center channel. And you know what? It actually works really well. I was happy with that. I would have kept that, and I probably would have just stuck with that, except I wanted to do 5.1 sound. So with the new update to the system, I thought to myself, could I hook up these speakers to the 5.1 sound somehow and get rid of my other stereo underneath, or other receiver underneath the couch? Tried a WiiM Mini sitting on the thing there, plugged it into a small 50-watt amp, Class T amp, and it just wasn't syncing properly. It was too much delay, it was too inefficient. So I went and bought Audio Pro speaker, sat it on the shelf and did a test. And you know what? It worked not bad. But the problem is, you know, I didn't want a speaker right in my ear either. And the other problem with the WiiM Ultra with the 5.1 is that it seems to disconnect it. Like, you know, I would have, it would be playing the film, and I'd have to go and add the second speaker that was sitting up here. I was going to get a second one, right? But I wanted to test it first. I'd have to add it every time manually, and if it wasn't Dolby, it wasn't working correctly. And you know, I thought it might have been synced, but the volumes definitely weren't synced, and it was just a bit of a hassle. So I ended up forgetting that. So you know, if you've got a case scenario where you can put a couple Audio Pro speakers maybe up high or in a situation that works well for you, go for it. But those speakers, a pair, are about 600 Canadian, and that's a lot of money to spend on something that's just a rear speaker. So I ended up keeping my old stereo. Moral of the story is, if it works, don't try to fix it. But I do love the WiiM Ultra for the 2.1 sound, and I just wanted to report on one thing. Hold on. Hey Google, turn on all the lights. Let's see if I can get a light on it. So what I did was I used a splitter. So I send the audio to the amp with the splitter and to the subwoofer. And I had to get one of these older ones that included a third line, which is normally for video, right? Normally these switches, they come with an in and then an out, and there was not enough of them. I needed 3 of them. Not sure why there's 4 there. Oh, it's, yeah, sub 3, 3, and 3. It seems to be a 4th one. I can't figure out what that is. Anyway, so I'll link to the splitter that I used, and it works great, and I don't notice any sound difference whatsoever. When I'm on number 2, it's going from the WiiM to my one subwoofer and to the stereo speakers through the power amp. And when I'm on the stereo is coming in through the same switch. Oh, that's what it is. It's coming into the same switch, and it's going to the power amp as well, which is stays, and to the subwoofer as well. So I need to switch from the input from the WiiM Ultra for stereo sound to back to the stereo for 5.1 sound, and I've got my two systems together. Hope that was clear. The big point of this is if you want to have two systems going through the same power amp, you need, and same subwoofer, you need one that has 3 audio RCA outs, and you can do that. But great device, great sound. I'm enjoying it for that reason, and it's so much easier with my setup to have, you know, a nice volume rocker, and I can play music, and it also has a trigger, which the other one doesn't. So it turns on my power amp, which the Marantz 1510 didn't do. So that's super useful as well. So that's my setup, and that's my adventure with trying the WiiM audio for 5.1 audio. I ended up giving it up. I will say one thing though, it was great for 2.1 with the center channel. I was really enjoying it. I would have gone with that, but you know, once in a while you want the surround sound, and you don't want just 3 channels. You really do want the rear. So I ended up keeping my cheap cheap receiver just for that purpose, and hid it under the couch.